Alright, yo! We back. Alright, so I don't know, like I've been thinking really hard about my gateway anime. Because like I would like cause okay. A lot of people have this weird idea that your first anime is like your gateway anime. Like that's not true. Like you could have watched a bunch of random anime, but it just never connected or resonated with you at all. Like you can't watch 2 episodes of Naruto and just be like, yeah, that was my gateway. I mean, it needs to have been the show that really got you into the medium, like the show that like not necessarily introduced you to the medium, but got you into it. And for me, I feel like all the anime, like Pokemon, didn't get me into anime. Like you know what I mean? Where I felt like Pokemon was its own isolated enjoyment. Like I wasn't watching it thinking that I want to see more of this. I was watching it as its own individual thing, even though that was the first anime I saw, right? Like Pokemon, like even Yu-Gi-Oh. Yu-Gi-Oh. I want to classify it as my gateway, but I can't say it was because like it was an isolated thing. Like there was so many different animes I watched, but it didn't get me to further my knowledge or further my presence in the space. Like I didn't care for any of that. Like I was just watching these shows that was televised on my network television, and I was kind of just like, okay, that's it. So like, I've seen the Pokemon, the Digimons, the Yu-Gi-Ohs, but again, none of these are my gateway because it never got me interested in the bigger world of fucking anime. I just thought it were just isolated shows that were okay and good. So okay, so now my gateway is not that unique from most people. And I don't know, like I really been thinking about this show more and more and more because it was just like it was a series definitely for my generation, and that's Naruto. And I feel like when it comes to Naruto, yes, I'm a boomer. I am an anime boomer. I'm an old head when it comes to anime. Don't shoot me. But it's just like I don't know. I would always be critical of Naruto, and when I'm having these discussions with people that I hold dear, near and dear to me, to have these kind of like I guess break down levels of discussions, really talking about the series and talking about the franchise and things that they could have done better and aspects that they could have like expand on and just envelop a bit more, or just things that they could have used in the main storyline of the franchise. Like there's a lot of things that personally I would have done differently with Naruto. Like I would say like a lot of the bits Ninja War wise wasn't. I just don't like the idea of having these characters that already had their presence very powerfully established within the story come back to re-establish the same meanings and lessons that was previously done already prior to their deaths. Like the resurrection arc to me wasn't the best thing for Naruto as a series or a franchise. I just thought it was really just annoying to have to reiterate a lot of the things that was already pre-established again for a lot of characters and the revelations that they went through, because it diminishes a lot of that, like the Asuma stuff. Not necessarily saying the moment within itself got diminished, but like for the character within the franchise, it kind of just takes away from them when they're seeing this individual that made them mentally and physically have to undergo like a personalized change in their life come back, and now they're having a conversation with them again to have the same development happen again. Like it was just weird. Like I'm specifically talking about Shikamaru. Like I just thought the resurrection arc for him was weird when he got to see Asuma again, especially coming off of like the Hidan stuff. But I'm talking two specific stuff. We're just talking about gateway animes, and Naruto was my gateway. And this is my story because I felt like I don't know, like I don't know if you guys have a similar story to this, because I again, like I really do feel like a lot of people just say like, oh, the first anime I watched was my gateway, and I loved it ever since. I was watching Pokemon and it somehow got me into Bleach. Like I don't know how that correlates, but okay, maybe it did. I'm throwing shade. But I used to be big on DBZ. So basically, my number one all-time anime was DBZ before I knew it was an anime. I just thought it was an Americanized televised show that they just aired in America that just so happened to be different from any cartoon that I watched. So DBZ was my thing. And you could not tell me nothing about Dragon Ball Z. Like I love Dragon Ball Z. Like I lived, breathed, eat, sleep, purchased that franchise. Like that was the franchise. Obviously back in the day, like we didn't have as many social spaces to actually, express your love for a particular anime. Because, like, again, like I mentioned earlier, I'm a boomer. So a lot of the young cats out here, you guys are enjoying way more privileges than I am. Because, like, back in the day, this shit was not socially acceptable. This shit was not socially acceptable. Unless you're one of those dudes. I always felt comfortable talking about anime, but it just sucked where, like, some of your friends, especially being in, like, the African American community, like, apparently anime is too good for black people. Some black people anyway. So in my local area, it was just very hard to have those conversations with some people. Like, you bring up Goku in a conversation and it's just like, clip. Nah, boy, what you talking about? We don't watch anime out here. We all into the sports. Football, basketball. And I was just like, I mess with football and basketball too, but I just kind of want to also talk about anime a little bit too. Like, is that too much to ask? Like, I just want to talk about some anime, but like I said, boomer generation aside, basically, the few people at the time when I was super young, I think if I was to give you like a grade, well, how old I was, I would say like middle school back, like definitely middle school and back. Like I would say like end elementary, like 5th, 4th grade, up to like 6th, 7th grade, like that time span. I would say I was a full-on DBZ guy. Like you couldn't tell me anything. Every other show compared to it was garbage in my just fanboy head. Like you couldn't really tell me anything until like I think there was one day I was coming home from just like some event or something like that. I was coming home from an event with the family or whatever, and I don't think DBZ was airing at the time I expected it to air because I think Toonami, they switched up the lineups, right? And I was just like, damn, man, I was pissed. Like I was very into my shows as a kid. Like I was very expressively angry. So I remember that I was expressively angry when they didn't air DBZ at the regular like Toonami time. And this is like Saturday, by the way, if you guys need like some context. Toonami at my time was like Saturday. It wasn't at 12. Actually, the Toonami block was longer than that. Toonami started from like 7. Ooh, am I capping? Yes. No. Toonami started, if I remember correctly, Toonami started Saturday at like 7 or something. 7 or 5 or something like that. It was pretty early. And then they showed the darker anime like at 12 in like early morning, like the Inuyashas, the Bleach, all that good stuff. So I'm here just like pissed that I didn't get my DBZ, I think at like 7 or 5. And basically, I'm just like, what show are they airing right now? And this is where just the beautiful story hit me, man. Like, it was just different. But they were airing Naruto. I always used to give Naruto shit back in the day. Like, I used to think that series was hot doo-doo garbage. Like, it was mosquito water garbage. It was sewage. It was fucking disposable waste. Like, I just did not mess with Naruto. Not because I watched the show. I didn't watch the show. I just hated on Naruto because, like, I just thought it was nothing compared to DBZ. You know, fanboy brain. We're thinking, this is fanboy Carl right now. Just complete fanboy. So I'm just like, yo, this series fucking sucks. So I sucked it up and watched it because in my household, if you leave the TV, you leave your right to watch TV. Like, if you left the television, you lost your right to watch television. Thankfully, like, my siblings weren't too into, like, TV like I was. Like, I was really into, like, my media. Like, I loved the medium that the TV provided in the sense of entertainment. I used to love it. Like, I couldn't get enough of television. But, basically, I had to sit there and sit through Naruto until I got to DBZ at 8 or 6. It was like an hour after because it was airing 2 Naruto shows or episodes. So I'm just like, damn, all right, whatever. So I'm sitting through Naruto because, again, I have to stay in front of the TV because, again, if I don't stay in front of the TV, I lose my TV spot to one of my siblings. So I'm here just watching this shit, looking like this. Like, I was so uninterested. I waited for the show to come back, and something crazy happened. I was actually getting into it. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I was really, really getting into it. So I was watching the episode. I will never forget this. I was watching the episode where I think it was Haku and it was Haku. It was Kakashi, Sakura, and Sasuke fighting Haku and Zabuza. But you know, Kakashi got to get the big guy, Zabuza, and Sakura was just doing Sakura things. And then Sasuke had to fight Haku, right? So I don't know necessarily because remember I never watched the series at that point in time anyway. But I know what happened. Naruto got like sick or some bullshit, or like he was just incapacitated for X amount of time, or he was just unable to go with them at the moment. So Naruto was just stationed elsewhere. But I got to the part where Naruto re-entered like the battle. So like Naruto went to go help out Sasuke instantly, and what happened in the episode was Sasuke got no. Haku was gonna just destroy Naruto, like needle this man to death, just stab him and just get him out of here. But then Sasuke jumped in front of him and took it. And I don't again, like I felt like there was this, like there was too many elements. Like I felt like my body knew I was gonna be a fan of this series just from how everything was nicely set up. Because you don't like that was crazy, like. I would never forget that moment. Like that would 100%. That moment will 100% be solidified in my brain, where Sasuke took that shit for Naruto, and I don't know. Like I like that shit. I like having like someone, even if you guys are like fake beefing, because Naruto Sasuke they always was fake beefing, but even when you're like fake beefing with each other, I like that. Like at the end of the day, even though we have this like small level of rivalry, I'm still not gonna let anything happen to you detrimental to you, whether it's your health, whether it's your well-being. Like I won't let that happen, because like regardless of like what rivalry we have with one another, to better ourselves and to become the best that we possibly can be, and trying to overcome the version of ourselves that we are the day prior. Like I just always love that idea that just like I still got your back regardless, even though I see you as like my competitor, I still got your back. So Sasuke took these needles, man, so he got hit different. And I don't know what it is about Naruto at that time versus Dragon Ball Z at that time, but the depiction of death to me in Naruto felt way more closer to home for some reason. Like, I felt like this guy just got bodied. Like, this guy just died. Like, Sasuke was just low breath, hyperventilating. He was just like, eyes, like, just, eyelids low. Like, I'm just like, oh, and mind you, this is me as a kid. So I'm just like, God damn. This looks really serious. This looks fucking serious. This motherfucker got hit with some shit. And then, he told Naruto his line of just like, my body, to be, he's Sasuke, we all know the Sasuke archetype. He has to be too cool for school and all that shit. So he told Naruto, like, yo, I didn't know. Like my body just moved on its own. And then Sasuke passed out. I thought he was dead. I was like, God damn, I'm watching this show and they are really killing people off? Like, oh my God. And then Naruto, Haku was, talking his anti-hero bullshit of just like, this is the world we live in. We live and we die. Us as children, we don't get the luxury of living a life. We have to prepare ourselves for war and conflict every second of the day. A lot of philosophical shit Haku was spewing as a young lad. Like, Haku was just talking his shit. So then Naruto, and I feel like this is what really solidified me as like wanting to get into the anime medium. And that was like Naruto's like, I don't want to say it was a monologue, but Naruto's like reply or his answer to Haku when he did what he did, it was just crazy. On top of like the unbridled, unfiltered rage that Naruto had, it was just like, damn, like it was fucking intense to see this kid like just, because you always see Naruto, especially from the earlier parts of this series, like he was just a goofy kid, but just to see him this angry and this just upset, this hurt, this like just, it was just so beautiful seeing him like rage out, get all red and shit like that. And I felt like the thing that put chills, shivers, goosebumps in my arms was the reply he gave to Haku, because I wasn't used to stuff like this. Mind you, I was raised in a very religious household, so and I was a bit sheltered as a child, so it was kind of just like hearing this kid say what he said. It just really shocked me, because I was just like, Naruto he declared, and mind you, also like watching American television, especially coming off of like superhero shows, like you don't really hear this too often, but Naruto said like, yo, I'm gonna kill you. And I was just like, I don't know, like those words just hit differently, because seeing a kid not really around my age. I was younger than Naruto at the time because how the story is, he's like 12, 13. But seeing this like young kid declare that he's gonna take a person's life, I just felt like that was just so foreign to me. And it was something that was so foreign that I grew a crazy attraction to it. Like, it was crazy. Like, no, I didn't grow up to be a psychopath and a killer, killing other kids. But it was just like, that form of storytelling was so different from what I was used to that I needed to kind of see more. Like, I wanted to see more. So, after coming off of those 2 episodes of Naruto that they aired or whatever, I just felt like a dumbass. Like, I just really felt like a walking dumbass. Like, I'm here repping DBZ so hard that I could have never witnessed this or experienced this. Like, I just always felt like if I didn't had that unfortunate thing happen to me where I missed DBZ and Naruto was airing and I kind of was forced to watch it. Like, I felt like I would have never experienced what I experienced, and I was hooked on Naruto ever since. And on top of that, I just told myself, you know what, from now on, let me just watch anime. You know, like, let me just continue and, like, yeah, let me continue kind of checking out and seeing what this medium has to offer. And I think at that time, I was watching everything that Toonami had to offer anime-wise. So, Zatch Bell, One Piece, what else they have? Bobo. Like, the traditional Toonami lineup. If you guys are around my age, if you guys are around the ages of anywhere from, like, 24 all the way up to 32, maybe 33, like, you guys definitely know what I'm talking about when it comes to the Toonami lineup. You should know if you did watch Toonami at the time, but those were some of the shows that aired, like Princess Tennis, Haruko no Go, stuff like that. But yeah, I was just sitting here thinking about that shit. Like, I have to say, like, Naruto really was like my gateway. Like, really, really my gateway. It's not a unique gateway. Like, most people, especially out here in the States, will say Naruto was their gateway as well. Like, it was just that series that got a lot of people in there. But I just wanted to give my story. Also, like, guys, what is some of the anime you watched when you were younger that really sparked the flame of you wanting to continue watching more anime, checking out more series, seeing more kids murder each other? But yeah, let me know some of those series, if anything. If any of them catches my eye, like, I'm down to watch some of the series that you guys found super interesting to be the thing that perpetuated your journey into continuously watching, some good old fashioned anime. Whether it's emotionally tugging at our heartstrings or making us viciously depressed, because my God, anime can make you like depressed as heck. But that's it for this. You guys take care. You stay blessed and have a good one. Peace.